first time. We knew it was going to be, again, possession by possession. It was going to be a battle and who was going to be the tougher team. I think at times we were the tougher team, and I think we withstanding their run. They made a great run. They made basket after basket. I mean, some of their players had, some of their best games, but we stayed together through it all, made the right plays, and got a W. Sometimes you just have to find a way. Today we found a way.
All right, questions for Janelle?
Janelle, it seemed like the biggest runs that you all made were with you and four guards. How did you all make that work so well?
Yeah, well, part of it is, defensively, I'm still able to pretty much guard whoever their post player was because they also play 4-on-1. And Raka or Rasa, however you say her last name, she, pretty versatile, would consider herself a guard. So we didn't lose much there with, having height on the perimeter like Liz and K Todd. And then on, offense, I'm able to, be more agile, get out and run. Which makes a difference, and then still being able to dominate inside and have four guards around me that can shoot it, drive it, do whatever they see fit at the time. So I think it was just a team effort when we went there with the four guards and one post.
Mike, question?
Hey, Janelle, nice job on the win. How good did it feel to get this one back here on your home floor against them?
Yeah, it feels good. Like I said, I knew we had to be the tougher team today. And I'm just proud of the team for just finding a way. We know that some of these games are just going to be, tough. Things might not go our way throughout the game. We just have to withstand the team's run, withstand, sometimes empty possessions, which we don't like, but it happens. So just have to find a way to make a win happen. Today we did that.
Great. Anybody else for Janelle?
Can you speak to the resilience of your team? Obviously, the high point game, you came back from a big deficit, against Wake Forest today. The resiliency there, and then the poise to win a close game. This is your third, and then the first one you've all been able to win.
Yeah, I think our team, since really July has just talked about staying together, and what that means is different in practice. And then when you come to the game, it's a little different because you're competing against somebody else other than ourselves. So we know there's going to be bad possessions. We know there's going to be things we don't like within ourselves. But talking to ourselves, those huddles at the free throw lines are probably one of the most important things in a basketball game because that's when we get to talk to each other about what's going on. But I think the resiliency that our team has showed pretty much since the season started has been great. We know that there's just going to be every game, never know what you're going to get from your opponent. And we got, Wake Forest best today, and, all their players played their hardest. So, but I think our team just handled it well and stayed true to who we are. I think that's why we got to win.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Janelle.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. I'm not sure who's up next here, but we'll have somebody in that seat pretty quickly. All right, looks like it's Alyssa Ustby. Alyssa, you want to give a few thoughts on the first first overtime game of the season, and then we'll take some questions.
Yeah, so I thought our team played really well. We faced a little adversity, and one thing that we did today is we didn't quit on each other, and that's what got us that win.
It seemed like you were really in the flow in the second half. I don't think you scored in the first half, but talk about what worked for you in the second half. You just seemed to really bring a lot of energy offensively.
Yeah, so just different openings were opening up in the zone, and I had more of an attack mindset in the second half because I knew that I could either get myself a layup or I could kick for a shooter on my team.
About the small line, a lot of the big runs you all made were with Janelle and four guards. What made that work for you guys?
Yeah, so I think Janelle is a great senior leader that we need on our team, and she really helped us through our offense, reminding us move the ball, and we really all fit well together and worked well with her, and that's what we were able to connect and make shots.
All right, thanks.
Oh,
sorry, she's got it's a holiday. She's got to get home.
Uh-huh.
But I'm here. Hi, guys.
Okay. Banghart, why don't you give a few quick thoughts on the game, and then we'll take some quick questions for you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to make the same with a young team. We know we're in a league of a lot of experienced players, and we know we're not one of them. And so we've got to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes twice. The last time we played these guys, we had 9 free throws. We weren't going to live with that stat again. And we had 31 today. So not making the same mistakes twice is critical for a team that wants to have success right away. We gritted that one out after not playing so well. 3 games in a week is tough for this team at this time of the year, given how anxious we are to just have a little bit of a separation. So really happy that the kids got a win. Happy for them. Happy that they can regroup now, and we'll get back to it when we get back.
Mike, did you have a question, or was that left over?
Yeah, I did. First of all, Coach, congrats on the win. Second of all, I've never seen a coach yank a player except for maybe if they cursed in a postgame. So I like that.
Yeah, watching out for her. She lives all the way in Minnesota. It takes her like 3 days to get home.
Yeah, I get it. So I appreciate it. In your mind, what was the biggest difference there in overtime? Obviously, they had trouble scoring, and you guys were able to get out in front there.
Yeah, obviously in the overtime, we didn't play slow, and it's not an issue of selfishness on this team. It's an issue of everyone's trying to help, and so the ball sticks a little bit, and we just have to we want to make sure we're giving everyone a look, and we just have to understand it's not everybody's chance to get a look. You got to kind of move it, and so in the second half, in the overtime, we really broke their pressure to get open looks, and also I think we were really well conditioned. That's a lot of minutes for Janelle and Alyssa, and Alyssa's still getting runouts. She's going to run to the airport right now, right? That's just the conditioning. I give a lot of credit to our sport performance team for that.
Any other questions for Coach Banghart?
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on the win. That's your third close game, and you guys showed the poise to get a win in one of those games today. What was the difference?
We just got to shoot better. It's such a bummer. We're 5 for 24. If you come to watch practice and you say, oh man, these guys can really shoot it. And then you come to a game. And so I'm just hoping the law of averages here work out and get back to the medium a little bit and after the Christmas holiday and make some more of our threes. But, a possession game, it comes down to who makes plays at the end. And we made plays at the end this time, and we didn't the last time. So two teams that are really made differently. It's just really valuable. We got extra 5 minutes. Again, the more we can play, the better for this team. So we got 5 extra minutes, and we're grateful for that. Also, just to shout out our university chancellor came to the game. I know he's quite busy with all that he's dealing with, trying to run a university that's like this. And him and our athletic director found time on a Sunday to come watch us at home. And that's just, they're not really allowed in. And I guess they own the place. They're allowed to let themselves in, but very cool.
What about the biggest runs you all had? It seemed to be with Janelle and 4 guards. Why was that working so well for you all?
I think because the other teams are playing 4 guards, and we're not shooting the ball well enough, so that people we can't really hammer inside because they're crowding our post because we're not shooting the ball well enough. So if we're not going to be able to hammer inside, we should just play small and drive by them. And so I'm not going to go away from playing 2 bigs. We just got to make shots so that we allow them to play some a little bit more one-on-one in the low post. Janelle's got good face-up range, and so too does Alyssa. So that helps us. We're still developing that in some of our younger guys.
Anybody else have another question?
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Alyssa's play. I asked you about that after the Syracuse game, but
yeah.
Again, she was pretty awesome today. And, like Janelle was on the floor for 41 minutes. Does that just sort of speak to how, I guess, important she's sort of quickly become to this team?
Yeah, she's just a kid you trust. As you guys are seeing, she gives you everything she has every time. Defensively, she can concentrate. So she concentrates for the entire shot clock. She doesn't make a lot of defensive mistakes in terms of our defensive game plan and our positioning. So there you trust her on that end. And then on the offensive end, she keeps it really simple. She does exactly what we tell her to do. And she keeps it super simple, and simple goes a long way in this game. And then the X factor for her is that Alyssa just plays the game hard. And we always say, first of all, it's a skill that she has attained. Others we're continuing to work on. But good things happen to those that work. And she puts a lot of work in. And I think the whole team trusts her. So very awesome to have her. We're glad she's ours.
Hey, Coach, when we talked before the season, you mentioned how long it had been since your players had gotten a chance to go home.
Yeah.
And so now I'm sure everyone's very excited to go home. What's your message to the team as far as being safe? Because they're going to want to see a bunch of people. And
Yeah.
What have you told them?
it's a global pandemic. It's not something that's safe to that University of North Carolina is dealing with. It's the whole world's dealing with it. And so we have just an obligation as citizens to honor the fact that the less it spreads, the more people live. So that's kind of the first, that's just life, right? And then the second piece of it is that this mask, we've been around each other a lot. And so when we're around each other, we're still pretty particular on our masks, as you see how we do our, how we start the game and how we warm up and all that. But they're now entering a world where they're not testing 3 times a week and other people. So the mask becomes critical, except for when they're asleep at night and when they're eating. And when they're eating, they should be doing so outside. So, they have a lot to lose. Athletes have a lot to lose. So I think you can usually count on them a little bit differently than others. And I hope the work that we're doing and sort of recognizing other people and other needs, that we understand that we have an obligation as humans to make sure that this virus is taken care of quickly for the safety and well-being of others. So we're doing the best we can. I wish we could bubble wrap them. We can't. They can bubble wrap themselves by wearing their mask. And we're going to hope they do that.
Coach, your next game is the 31st. How much time do the players sort of have off and get to spend with their family?
Not much. They'll be back on Christmas. Not much. But for college, that's a long time. I mean, they're trying to get home tonight for some of them and others first thing in the morning. And, this is their family really also. So they'll be back, they'll be back quick, but just a chance to have a home cooked meal, sleep in your own bed. It makes a big difference. I'm a mom, and that once you become a mom, you're always a mom. And I know that's really important for the moms too, to have their kids home. So they'll be back on Christmas Day, and we'll be in the protocols necessary. And if something is to come up, we'll deal with it like everybody else does. But I can assure you it won't be carelessness. Happy holidays, everybody. Thanks for your support.
Thanks, Coach. Happy
All right,
holidays.
got it.